Hey guys, today I'm filming my next update for my Partners in Creme Project Pan collab for 2021. I'm filming this on February 10th, which is the day that we are supposed to be posting our update. Mine's going up a little bit late. We have just had a crazy couple of weeks, so my filming and posting has been all over the place. Work's been especially busy for the both of us. We share a computer. He uses it for work, I use it for editing and whatnot, and he's been working super late, so I haven't had time to edit all of my videos and film, and of course I'm very pregnant at this point, so I'm very exhausted. And unfortunately, both of Justin's grandparents passed away within 24 hours of each other, both COVID related deaths that happened last week. So we were trying to figure out a ton of stuff. They were both unexpected, one more than the other, so it left us with a lot of things to figure out. And of course we're still trying to work and everything else all at the same time. So I apologize that my video is going up late, and there's probably going to be a little bit of time between this video and my next video because of funeral preparations and everything like that. So anyway, with all of that aside, what this project is about, working on the cream and liquid products in our collection. Your goal can be whatever you would like, whether it's a usage goal, hitting pan, using up. If you guys saw me do this last year, I'm doing it the same this year, and I'm just trying to use all my products a certain number of times. I was able to declutter several things last year, which was a success for me, and I used all the cream products that I had, which was also a big success. I did film a cream product collection at the beginning of the year. I will have that linked in the cards as well. It's part of my playlist for this project. So let's just get into the products. There were 6 things that I was working on for last month, and I did actually hit my goal on everything, which is super exciting. The first product is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Cream Blush in 390 Ripe and Ready. My goal was to use this 3 times. I'm wearing it for the 3rd time today, and this is not a bad product. Today I applied it with the Real Techniques buffing brush just because that one was already dirty from my Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush that's in my Winter Project tin pan. And normally I use my e.l.f. Small Stipple brush with this, but I had just cleaned that and I didn't want to dirty it to use it just one more time for this. So anyway, I used a different brush today. It worked well. So because it's in this little squeeze tube, basically I will squeeze out just a tiny bit in the back of my hand because this is actually very pigmented, and I will try to kind of blend it with my finger first to disperse the product, and then really kind of coat my brush, and then still run my brush on the back of my hand to make sure I don't have any big globs. And then I'll put it on one cheek, like dot it on like this, then go over to the other cheek, work it in, and then come back to this. If I just start right here and work it in, it's gonna be too much. And because I'm so fair, this is pretty pigmented. It was a very pigmented product, so I did go over the top with my sponge that had a little bit of foundation on it just to help blend it into the skin. It looked pretty good. There were some times where I felt like, oh, that might be a little bit patchy, and then other times like today where I think it applied well. So this is definitely not a bad product. I like the color of this. It's very pretty, but I am going to be decluttering this from my collection. I have a lot of powder blushes that are a similar shade that I would rather use, as well as the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blush in Mauve Sunrise, which is like my favorite formula. And I really only need like one mauve cream blush. Liquid blushes are just a little bit harder for me to use. They make me more nervous than cream blushes for some reason, but this was not a bad product. Next, I had a cream shadow stick. This is the Nudestix Magnetic Luminous Eye Color in Nudity. It's a pretty metallic pinky taupe shade, and my goal was to use this one 3 times. I did use it 3 times. You guys know I love cream shadow sticks. I don't love this formula. I've tried 3 different colors from them, and like, they don't crease. They're long wearing, but they're just not fully opaque. They don't look super shimmery on the lid. They don't apply as smoothly as some other formulas, so it's just okay, and I don't need it. And I would rather reach for my Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks over these. I also love the ones from the Balm, so I'm gonna pass this on, but I did reach my goal of using it 3 times. Next, I had a couple of Super Shock shadows. My goal was to use them 1 time each. The first one is Tinsel. It's a metallic finish. It's a really pretty icy purple color, and I did use this once. This is one of my favorite ColourPop Super Shocks. It's such a pretty shade, and this is pretty old and it still performs very well. So I did hit my goal, and I will be keeping this in my collection. The other shade I had was Fooling Around. It's a pressed pigment finish because it does have the red dye in it that makes it not safe for the eye area, and it does have a shimmer finish to it. This is pretty dried out. So if you have used a lot of ColourPop Super Shocks, you may have noticed when they dry out, depending on the kind of color it is, from what I've noticed, they dry out differently. Some of them just get a little bit flaky, some get really gummy, and then some like this. And then what I've noticed mostly with blues, it's like they completely get dry like a powder, and then they just have like little tiny powdery balls will come off of it, like super dry. Like still swatch is nice, but super dry. You would never think it was like a creamish shadow to begin with. Very weird. But anyway, this one has dried out, and I didn't love it when I wore it. It's just a little too red for me. I love cranberry shades, but this is just too red. So I did use it once, but I'm gonna be decluttering this. This isn't even super old, especially in comparison to some of my other Super Shocks, but just something about this color and the fact that it is a couple years old, it did dry out and get a little weird. Then I had 2 liners, and my goal was to use each of these 5 times. I did use them 5 times each, which is very exciting. So I have a black liner. This is the NARS High Pigment Longwear Liner in Via Veneto. This is a not twist up. You have to sharpen it, but I haven't had to sharpen it yet. But you can sharpen these. It is a bit of a hard plastic, but it will sharpen. So this was very nice. It was pretty long wearing in the waterline. It applied very smoothly, so I will be hanging on to this. And then the other liner is a ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Joyride, which is a beautiful burgundy shade. And I love these liners. I know they don't work for a lot of people, and it's because you have to apply them a certain way to make them work, which you shouldn't need to do. But for me, I've been so used to using these that like it's how I naturally apply it. It's not something I have to like make myself remember to do. But basically these are very dry. They're not going to work on the upper lash line very well. They're going to skip. It's going to be an issue, but on the waterline or the lower lash line, they do work. These will break. I think it's cheating when these break and people will say they use them up. That's cheating to me, because when I've panned these, they break from the base pretty quickly. But I just leave them in here. I twist up literally this much, just the smallest amount, and then run it on my waterline, lower lash line, put it back. When I get to just a little nub left, I will use what I can, and then the littlest bitty nub is what goes to waste for me, not half the liner. I do feel like it's cheating when people throw away half the liner because it broke, and it's just like, well, to me, you can't count that as empty. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think you can count that as empty because you didn't use it up. I found a way to make them work. Long story short, I love these liners. They last a long time in the waterline. I don't have issues applying them because I just put them on the waterline and lower lash line. Love this color. Happy to have it. Will be staying in my collection. So long story short, I tried out 6 products, hit my goal on all of them. I am decluttering 3 and keeping 3, so I do feel really great about that. Speaking of decluttering, before we get into the items that I'm gonna be using in February, I wanted to give you a little update. So I mentioned in my cream product collection video that I wanted to get down to having just 10 cream blushes by the end of the year. So that meant I would have to declutter a few. And I had one more on my wish list, which would be the fourth and final shade of the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur blushes in the pink shade, which is Pink Sky. I was able to find this at a TJ Maxx for an amazing price, so I'm so happy about that. I feel very content with the cream blushes that I have now. So I did go ahead and figure out which ones I wanted to declutter. So that means I would have to get rid of 4. One of them is gonna be this CoverGirl cream blush. Then I was watching a video from Jocelyn Claire, and she had tried out some little like foil samples of the Glossier Cloud paints, and she said it's something that she would consider purchasing in the future. So I was like, hey, I have 2. I haven't been using them. I bet you would use them more than me. Do you want them? And she said yes, so I'm gonna be sending these to her. So the 2 shades I have would be Dusk, which is more of a nude, and Beam, which is a peachy shade. So as much as I would like to play with these a little bit more, I think she's gonna get more use out of them, and I do feel really happy passing them on to her. It definitely makes me happy when I can give something to someone that I know that they love or really want to try. And then the other one I'm gonna get rid of is this NARS Multiple in the shade Orgasm. I'm honestly mad at myself for even trying this in the first place. When I got this mini, I knew there was a good chance I'd pass it on, but I really, really wanted to try it out. It doesn't perform badly or anything. I just don't need it. And like I said, with the other cream blushes that I have, I've got my 10 and I'm totally content. I have one that could possibly go, the Nudestix in Sunkissed. I need to play around with it a little bit, that one a little bit more. I don't know that the shade is gonna work for my skin tone that well. That's the only other one that could possibly go. Everything else I have, I really love, and I feel content with having 10. So I did want to update you on that. I am decluttering an additional 3 cream blushes this month. And considering that this is the last month that I'm gonna use my winter makeup products, I did look at some of the cream products to really decide what I wanted to keep and let go of. And I have decided to get rid of 2 more ColourPop Super Shock shadows. So instead of waiting until next month, I already know I'm gonna declutter them now, so I'm gonna show them to you now. So this first one is Party of 5. It's an ultra glitter. It's like a duochrome shade, super beautiful, reminds me of Urban Decay, Moon Dust, and Solstice, but I have that, so I don't need this. I think this looks pretty on the eye, but I'm never like, oh wow, I really wanna wear Party of 5, and it's also pretty dried out. And then what I'm wearing on my lids today is Static. It's a pearlized finish, a very pretty shade, but this has started to get gummy. It was not really easy for me to apply today. You guys know I don't love really dark shades, and it just looked dull on the eye. It wasn't as shimmery as it used to be, and I liked it a lot more when I first got it, so I'm gonna be getting rid of that one as well. So those were the 2 shades I had actually planned on wearing in February, but I already know I want to get rid of them. So then for the things that I will actually be using in February, I have 2 more winter ColourPop Super Shock shadows. I've actually already worn and tested these, but I want to wear them again and make a final decision whether I want to keep them or not. I'm already leaning towards getting rid of, but I want to use them again to be sure. My Super Shocks are drying out. I don't love them as much as I used to, so I want to make sure I only have the shades I really, really enjoy. So the first one I have is Koosh. It's an ultra metallic finish. It's a platinum metallic. My goal is just to use this once. Then I have Prickly Pear, which is a metallic. It's really pretty purpley muted shade with some golden shimmer in it. My goal is also just to use this once. So I'll let you know next update what happens there. Then I have 6 more items that I will be using this month, and that's because I actually had forgotten about some of these. And I have got 3 liquid shadows that I will be using, and my goal is to use each of these 2 times. And the first one is a Pixi Liquid Fairy Lights in the shade Bare Brilliance. The Pixi glitter shadow formula I think is very nice. It's a little bit more sheer than the Stila. I think it's just as glittery, but the base is a little more sheer. And this is a really pretty taupe color. I've really liked this one when I've worn it in the past. And then I have 2 shades of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liners. And I want to see if I need to keep both of these shades. They're similar enough that I think I might be able to get rid of one of them because I just don't wear these a ton, even though they're super fun. I just am not super fun all the time. So I'm trying to get a decent swatch of these to show you guys. Okay, so the 2 colors I have would be Junkshow and Volume. Junkshow definitely has a little bit more chunky glitter in it. So here are the swatches. Junkshow on the top, Volume on the bottom. So again, I would like to wear each of those liquid shadows 2 times each. And then I have 3 eyeliners, and my goal is to use each of these 3 times. If I can exceed that goal, that would be great, but I already know for my video schedule this month, I'm not gonna have as many videos, so I will feel accomplished if I use these 3 times. So I do have a black liner. This is my 3rd and final black pencil liner in my collection. This is the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Swerve. I'm wearing it in my waterline today, just a matte black color. Then I have the ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Venus, which is a bright true red. I'm very nervous about this. Actually, my goal for this one is gonna be just twice. The black liner and this other one, I wanna use 3 times, but Venus just twice because it's gonna be a hard color for me to wear because of the eyeshadows that I have picked for this month. I don't know how it's gonna look. So I'll say just twice for that one. And then the 3rd one is a new liner to me. This is the NYX Slide On Glide On liner in the shade Jewel, which has been around for forever. I just have never tried these before. It's a really pretty shimmery, like muted purple color, very pretty. So I definitely can use this one 3 times. This tone will work a little bit better with the shadows that I have picked. So really quickly to run over my goals again. My 2 ColourPop Super Shocks, wear them 1 time each. My 3 liquid shadows use 2 times each. For the black liner and NYX Jewel, use them 3 times. And then for ColourPop Venus, just use it twice. So we'll see what I think of these products, if I'm able to hit my goal, and if I end up decluttering anything else. I have mixed emotions about decluttering sometimes. It feels great to get my numbers down. It is sad when I have to throw things away instead of passing them on. So I'm always happy when I can find someone to give these products to, but it also makes me happier to curate my collection, especially my Creme products, to things that I just truly love, which is why I enjoyed this project so much last year. So anyway, guys, I know this was a bit of a long, rambly update. I tripped over my words a little bit more than normal, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm really happy that I hit my goal and everything last month, and I'm feeling good about the goals I've set forth for February. So let me know in the comments down below if you're doing this project as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.